Hey, good evening, my friends. How are you? Welcome to another edition of Wednesday Night Live right here on Mike Avery Outdoors on the Facebook page, on the YouTube channel, on the Vimeo channel. What's my plant here? And on, well, I don't care. Then don't stream the video. I don't care. Remove it. For some reason, Vimeo doesn't want me tonight. I got a couple of yellow leaves on my plant here. That's not good. Oh, Craig's with us. Matt is with us. Richard's with us. Gene is with us. Doug is with us. Ed Bolanowski. It says he cares. Ed will be along with us from Speedy Blaze to give away some Speedy Blaze tonight. Anyway, this is Wednesday Night Live. My name is Mike Avery. This is something I do every Wednesday night. Here on my social media outlets. No, because I didn't give him the address. Greg, nobody has any emails from Bill Piles because I didn't pass along your email addresses yet. All in good time, my friends. Hello, Jason. How are you? Joe is with us tonight. Beaner's with us tonight as well. Well, it's nice to see you along with us, Jim. Hello, Lance Valentine of Walleye 101, teaching fishing. Lance Valentine, one of my absolute heroes, one of my idols, and just an all-around good guy. Hey, Lori, how are you? Lori's going to be with us in Ohio next week. But no, I have not passed along the email addresses. I've been busy on some other projects. It's a busy time of year. Right after the first is lots going on. Young Guns with us. Nice to have you along with us, Ron. Haven't been able to watch in a while. Good to see your show again. Jeremy, it's nice to have you along with us. Appreciate it. Matt says, good evening, Lance. Everybody knows Lance. Matt was with us on a recent Offshore Tackle podcast. Today I recorded another offshore podcast, and I recorded a Killer Food Plots podcast as well. But I was thinking this is actually the first Wednesday Night Live we've done of the new year. What is that right there? What is that? Stray hairs. So it's, kind of late to wish you Happy New Year, but Happy New Year to you. Mike says, hi, Lance. He's looking forward to fishing with you in June. Where did we see that? I saw it right there. Looking forward to June. Hey, Mike, you got people's attention with that email you sent me from the outfitter in Ontario saying that the borders were going to be closed through all of 2021. I hope that's not the case. Our guy in White River, Ron St. Louis, is trying to verify that right now to see if he can find out anything about it. Haven't watched since this morning. Having withdrawals, Kevin? Number 2 elk season, 88% of hunters were successful. I want if I get an elk tag, I want the second season. I bet you did hate to see that email because you were supposed to go up there, weren't you? Bill Hoffman, did you see, and being an Ann Arbor guy, I see why you've got the Crimson Tide thing up there. Piano lesson. I've always wanted to learn to play guitar. So good for you, Bill. As an old guy, you're still learning. And I did get a kick out of your Avery Heisenberg, your Averyberg picture. In fact, I just posted it here on the Facebook page, and I put it as a story on Instagram and Facebook as well. Pretty darn funny. Harry, speaking of that, Harry Smith says he liked it a lot too. Pretty funny. I do. If I got rid of this and just did this, I would look like Heisenberg. But I don't cook crystal meth. You're right there. I have to apologize too. Somehow last week, the wrong radio show ended up on the satellite. That's a big deal. Not sure how it happened. but it did. First time in 30 years, the wrong show has aired. Now, I had the right shows in some other places, and the stations who get the show from those locations were correct. But most of the stations aired the wrong show last week. What a shame. Because the week before was obviously a Christmas show. Last week was obviously a New Year's show. So I ended up looking kind of like a fool. Like Avery just got lazy and didn't cut another show, didn't record another show. That's never going to happen. I'm always going to do a new show. And if I know I'm going to be gone, I will record 2 shows in 1 week to make sure that we have a new show up there. So I apologize for that. Good evening, Norm. How are you? Thank you, Jake. Appreciate that. Randy, I look forward to fishing with you as well. I just look forward to getting back on the water. I know some of you guys, like Ryan here, are waiting for cold to get safe ice. And not being an ice fisherman, I talked to Brad Dupuy of Angler Quest because the Angler Quest I was running last year got sold, in fact, to my buddy Scott Hand. And I'm glad to see it going to the Hand family because they will enjoy it as much as I did. But I thought, with the shortage of boats and as hard as it is to get boats right now, am I going to be able to get another boat for 2021? Brad says you can. So that's a big sigh of relief. A couple things I want to talk about tonight. Oh, the Darton sale. Now, well, I appreciate that, Justin, but it's kind of a big deal. When this is what I do, it's kind of a big deal. Galveston, Texas checking in. Thank you, John. Hey, Mike, how are you? I knew about this last week for Wednesday Night Live, but I couldn't talk about it. But the Darton sale to Randy Kitts, who owns Black Eagle Arrows and Conquest Archery. And I'm not sure yet, Nate, if it was human error or not. Still trying to figure that out. The right show was in some places, but the wrong show was in some places. So we're still trying to figure that out. Roger checking in. My buddy from North Dakota says the ice on Devil's Lake is ready if you want to head out there and do some perch fishing. The sale of Darton Archery. And I found some of the comments online to be disturbing with people saying, oh, no, it's the end of another Michigan-based family-owned company, yada, yada, yada. It's the government's fault. It's somebody's fault. It's going to leave Michigan. It's the worst thing that ever happened. Let me tell you something right now. Rex Darlington, the man behind Darton Archery for more than 65 years, is in his 80s. He wasn't going to be able to continue on at the pace he had been for many more years. He's like Superman, but even he was going to slow down. So in order for Darton Archery to survive, something had to be done. Ross, you can't tease me like that. Ross says he talked to Ron St. Louis of Northern Wilderness Bear Outfitters about this whole closure of the Canadian border. Ross, can you share something on here tonight? Hey, Blake, how are you, buddy? Blake's my buddy. Blake's my hunting buddy. He likes the Mike Avery hunter sticks. And Blake is going to enjoy the heck out of that Angler Quest. I'm really glad you guys got that boat, Scott. I think the sale is a good thing. And you know what? It doesn't matter what any of us think, right? If a company is privately owned and the owner wants to sell it, he has that right. So good for him. You build the company up to the point where you can sell it. Anyway, I had Randy Kitts on the radio show this week. I recorded it today. It'll be on this weekend. He once again promises Darton Archery is not going anywhere, at least not for a while. I mean, he can't promise this is going to be here in 10 years, right? Nobody knows what's going to be going on in 10 years. But I found that to be an interesting conversation. He sounds like a really nice guy. I don't think I've ever met him before. But the one thing he said is, now that there are some resources behind Darton, Do you think their product line might decrease, as in not selling vertical bows, not selling crossbows? No, absolutely not. There is a new line of crossbows and a new line of vertical bows coming out for 2021. How do these outfitters in Canada survive without all the U.S. hunters? Great question, Tony. Many of them missed an entire year. Think about that. If you or I had to survive without a year's income, could we do it? I couldn't do it. Losing a year's income? Absolutely not. And then the thought of maybe extending it through 2021, that would be devastating. So Randy's on the show with me this week, and he says one of the things they're going to do is actually put some promotion and marketing dollars behind Darton, and that's always been the problem with Darton. They've always made a great company, a great bow, a great product, but they didn't market it like many of the other bow companies do. So that's going to be a big plus. Randy said, in his opinion, Darton is the best bow on the market that nobody knows about, and they're going to change that. So that's good. And Ted Harpham follows up with me talking about some exciting new crossbows and some new vertical bows for 2021. Then Chad Wasco of Linwood Beach Marina talks about the ice on Saginaw Bay as it is this morning. Ice conditions change. 2 new crossbows, Kevin says. Yes, Ted was telling us about it today on the radio show. Nothing lasts forever. You have to grow, you have to change to survive, and be open to change to see what it brings before judging both companies and great products. Thank you, Stu. I appreciate that. I don't know anything about Black Eagle arrows, but I've heard nothing but good things about Black Eagle arrows. And of course, I know Darton very, very well, and I think they are a great company. Who was saying that the SL50 was their first bow? Because it was my bow as well. In fact, I've got one over there in the other room that Rex Darlington signed. Grace loves her Darton. I'm sure she does. Grace, who wins every time there's a crossbow given away. Good evening, Ed. How are things in Eaton Rapids? Buddy just got a steal on a used Maverick. Can't wait to set it up for him. Darton is a great company. They make great bows. But again, the downside of Darton has been that they didn't want, I don't know if they didn't want it, they didn't advertise. Now, if that's going to change, wonderful. Randy says he will grow the Darton Archery brand. He says he will keep the Darton Archery name. It's not going to become Conquest bows or Black Eagle bows. So, Brent, that's wonderful. Brent says he's hoping to be back in a vertical bow by this fall. Excellent, Brent. Now, would you take that compound to Ohio, or are you going to take a crossbow to Ohio? In hour number 2 of this week's show, I'm talking with DNR Director Dan Eichinger, then Al Stewart about springtime turkey season. If you want to apply for one of the limited quota hunts, both, good thinking. For one of the limited quota Michigan turkey hunts, January is the time to do it. Yes, absolutely. I've been saying that all along. Production is staying in Hale, Michigan. I've said that probably 100 times now. What we don't know is for how long. I mean, because Randy can't tell us he's going to keep it there for 10 years or 20 years, and nobody would expect him to. But yes, he said he has no plans to move Darton Archery from Hale, Michigan, and I think that's good. No, Ohio is not full, Ross, and I've been waiting for you to say you want to be involved. Your dad, who's 80, still has a Trailmaster hanging in the basement. Your first compound was a Trailmaster with the brackets. That goes back a ways. Yeah, see, Darton is a company so rich in history and tradition, and so many people here in Michigan know Darton, and they love Darton and didn't want to see it go away, and it's not going away. That's the good news. Al Stewart talks about springtime turkey season, and he confirmed that the turkey opener this year is once again on a Saturday, which breaks my heart. The DNR has said all along that they want the springtime hunt to be a quality hunting experience. That's why they are not going to allow people to take 2 birds in the springtime hunt, because they want it to be a quality hunt. Good to know, Ross. And in my opinion, my personal experience, when they opened up the Saturday opener, it diminished the quality of my hunt. Because I felt like it was the opening day of firearm deer season last spring for the opening day of turkey season. I did not like it at all. I understand why they did it, because they wanted to get more people in the woods and make it easier for people who don't have a flexible schedule like I do. But I absolutely hate the Saturday opener for the Michigan turkey season. I can't tell you how much I hate it. It took my quality hunting experience and made it feel like I was sitting in the woods, should have been wearing orange. But I'm sure many more hunters loved it because it gave them a chance to be in the woods on the opening morning. So nothing I can do about it. I'll be out there. Thank you, Bill. Appreciate that. I will be out there. Scott says, me too. Well, thank you, Bill. Appreciate that. You agree with the Saturday opener. First bow was a PSE whitetail intruder. You shouldn't hate something. I hate the Saturday morning opener. Things in the world I hate. I hate strong northeast winds. I hate the Saturday opener. And I hate clowns. I don't know. I could care less about clowns. I was trying to think of things I hate. Do you think Michigan would be more successful with promoting hunting if the focus was on subsistence rather than trophies? Interesting question, Mike. And I'm not sure. I'll get to that in a second here. I'm not sure. I'm not sure Michigan is promoting trophies. I think there are groups in Michigan, like the Let Them Go, Let Them Grow, and the Mandatory Antler Point Restriction crowd. I think they're promoting it. But I don't think I've seen anything from the state that's promoting trophy hunting. Some people would say actually the opposite. Bum Shoulder now have a Darton crossbow named Dad when Dad went to heaven. Excellent. That's a beautiful story. Anything about the borders? Scott, in fact, when we get off the air here, Scott, I'll send you a copy of the email that Mike Critchfield sent me. I've already sent it to Ross. Scott, so the update on that is our friend Ross Elliott is checking in with our other friend, Ron St. Louis, who is the outfitter at Northern Wilderness Bear Outfitters in White River, Ontario, and he's going to see if he can check on it. But it would be absolutely devastating. In fact, how many of the outfitting businesses could even stay in business? Also, in this week's radio show, in hour number 2, the Ask Avery segment talks about getting your captain's license, how I did mine. I went into detail, how much it cost, the steps involved, all that good stuff, which led me into hour number 3 when I talked to Captain Bill Winowicki, who is the president of the Michigan Charter Boat Associations, and of course, Wild Game Chef Extraordinaire Dave Miner wrapped it all up. I asked him about a wolf season. Would be nice to have wolf season, but we can never shoot enough coyotes. Want to start myself. More options allowed now at night. Do I think we'll have safe ice for fishing? We already do. It depends on where you are, Billy. I asked the DNR director about the wolf season, knowing full well that he didn't have any say in it. But you know how it is. Everybody thinks the DNR is responsible for everything, and everybody thinks the DNR can control everything. For many, many years, the DNR had no say in a wolf hunt, and even now it's up to the NRC. It's not up to the DNR. Shall we give away some Speedy Blaze? Ross says it's a month-to-month shutdown in Ontario. From what Ron says, it's all a numbers game. So, Ross, is Ron saying that email that I sent you is inaccurate, that those people are jumping the gun and just being overly cautious, which I understand. Makes complete sense. But there was a line in there that said the borders were going to be shut down through all of 2021. What do you say we give away some Speedy Blaze? Can I show you what Speedy Blaze is? Speedy Blaze is this company right here. That is Speedy Blaze. SpeedyBlaze.com, fire kits and fire starters, Michigan-based, family-owned. Anybody can start a fire with Speedy Blaze. campfires, grills, fireplaces. You can cook over it. You can start it even when it's wet. Look at over here. Very, very cool. The website, speedyblaze.com, speedyblaze.com. And right now, let me get back to my other window here. Let's stop the screen. Ed Bolanowski is along with us right now. Thank you, Dave Thomas. Dave, you're the man. Dave Thomas from Bowhunter Planet, bowhunterplanet.com. You want to talk about a guy who's got it together and a guy who has things dialed in. And Dave, I was just talking a minute ago about the Darton Archery sale. And though all the naysayers online were saying it's terrible, it's the death of a Michigan company. Well, what they don't realize is that Michigan company was not going to be around for long if somebody didn't buy it. So I think it's a good idea. I think it's a great move. Great move. All right, my friends, you've got 2 minutes starting right now. 2 minutes starting right now. If you want to win some Michigan-made Speedy Blaze, some Michigan-based Speedy Blaze, make your comments right here now on whatever screen you're watching on. And tell me why you should win some Speedy Blaze. Make your comment. Dave Thomas, today is your birthday. Well, happy 21st birthday, Dave Thomas. How are you? There we go. My friend Ace McDonald. Today we really need a bright light, and Speedy Blaze would be that light. Ace, my friend, how are you? It's always so nice to hear from you. Absolutely, Dave. That's what people understand. That move saved Darton. It was necessary. Jason says he'd like to try Speedy Blaze to start fires in his wood stove. Not 21, Dave. Mike's ready to fire it out. A minute 30 seconds on your Speedy Blaze. A minute 30 seconds on Speedy Blaze. You would heart some Speedy Blaze. Richard says he uses nothing but Speedy Blaze. Absolutely. It makes starting fires easier at the cottage. It makes starting fires easier. Mike says he's always buying fire starters. You do need this for your hunting campfires. 1 minute on the Speedy Blaze. 1 minute. SpeedyBlaze.com is the website, SpeedyBlaze.com. You have 1 minute. Well, Marty, you would not suck at making fires if you use Speedy Blaze. You would look like an absolute survivalist. Might need it for a rainy day. That's one of the cool things is you can start a fire on a rainy day with Speedy Blaze. It's like almost impervious to moisture. 30 seconds. And you know I'm not really looking at the clock, right? 30 seconds, your billboard just showed up on the Facebook page. Which one? The Avery Berg or the other billboard? Brian needs some Speedy Blaze. 20 seconds on the Speedy Blaze. You got 20 seconds to make your comments on why you want to win some Speedy Blaze. SpeedyBlaze.com would love to have WOOD. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. The Avery Berg one. Kind of funny, wasn't it? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I know. I'm disappointing you this week. I'm disappointing you. First, the wrong show ends up on the satellite, and now I can't even give you a decent buzzer. What is this world coming to? Dave says next week is Bowtech. Bowtech unveils their bows, or Bowtech is going to be sold or bought. Ed Klee. Ed Klee is the winner. And thank you, Ed Bolanowski, for picking that name so fast. Ed Klee. Yeah, it was a short buzzer. Ed Klee is the winner of this week's Speedy Blaze giveaway, the 2021 bows. Okay, I was going to say, man, if they're going to sell Bowtech, wow. Congrats, Ed Klee. I'm sorry I didn't give you a longer buzzer. I feel like I let you down. I apologize for that. Ed, send me a private message, or send Ed Bolanowski a private message with your shipping address, and he will get that out to you right away. Congrats. And maybe we'll see if we can't give some away next week as well. Hey, Ed. Okay, speaking of giveaways and promotions and such, you know I love the Primal Treestands Wraith 270 see-through ground blind. I absolutely love them. You want to win one for free? If you go on Instagram and you follow Outdoor Pregame and you follow Primal Treestands and you follow Mike Avery Outdoors, you will be entered into a contest to win a Wraith 270 see-through ground blind from Primal Treestands. The drawing is January 31st. Ed picked his own name. Yeah, I noticed that too. And if you don't win, I have an option for you. Let me go back to my screen share. Chrome tab, Wraith, share. What you can do if you don't win one is you can get one for $200. Look at the website I'm on. It's outdoorpregame.com. Outdoorpregame.com. You go to the Wraith 270 ground blind tab, and here you'll see this. The price is $280. But watch, this is magic. When I put in the promo code Mike20 and I apply it, the price goes down to $200. Outdoorpregame.com, promo code Mike20, and you can get one of those ground blinds for $200. $20 down now, and the remainder when they ship it. You can't beat that. Outdoorpregame.com, promo code Mike20, and you can get one of those Wraith see-through ground blinds for $200. I think I bought 4 of them. To be honest, they gave me a couple. And I've given a couple away. I love them. I think they're worth considerably more than that. At $200, they're a great, great price. Outdoorpregame.com, promo code Mike20. Promo code Mike20, get one for $200. I've been assured that even though that was a 2020 promo code, it's going to continue into 2021. So if you want to get in on that, check it out. Check it out. What else is going on? My son James and I were out in the woods last weekend, and we took our ground blinds down. The top of them were caved in because of the snow and ice, but nothing broke. They held up very, very well. I was quite impressed. They do rock. Yes, Brad, they're a great blind. Ross says they're an awesome blind. Ross has got a couple of them. And the thing about them that I love is you've got some visibility. What's the downside of a blind, right? You can't see out of them very well. I love blinds because they're safe. They protect you from the elements. They help contain your scent a little bit. They're a little bit warmer. But the downside is, Ross said he was hesitant at first, but they're the best ground blind you ever. I knew you were hesitant, Ross. I knew you were. And I thought, boy, if you just try one, I think you'll like it. But the lack of visibility in the past has been the problem. Now, Double Bull had one out. What was it called? The Double Bull 270, something 270, which is a wonderful blind. Really a nice blind. Very heavy, very well made, but very expensive. I paid like $500 for mine when they came out a few years ago. So this Wraith from Primal gives you the same thing for about half the cost. Ross says he's now got 4 of them. And Ross is a cheapskate. If Ross spent the money to buy 4 of these things, you know they must be good. I've hunted deer out of them. I've hunted bear out of them. I've hunted turkey out of them. I love them. Ed's going to use his during turkey season. Brent says he has. He really likes it. And the price was right. I don't doubt that, Richard. There's fox all over the place. I've been seeing a lot of them lately. I love ground blinds. I love ground. And although for the first time this last year, I got back up in a tree stand and I felt pretty comfortable. Of course, being smaller helped my comfort level, and sitting in one of those Primal stands. By the way, I've got a meeting tomorrow morning with Bob Ransom of Primal, and I want to see what he's got on his mind. I'm sure he's got some pretty cool projects and products coming up. This guy's mind is constantly going. I'll look forward to that. You've looked at a lot of empty woods with yours. So have I, Dave. So have I. There have been a lot of days I've sat in that blind and seen nothing but trees. Wild Game Dynasty is full for the 2021 bear season. Ross, how can that be? We haven't even put in for bear tags yet. Lori says she loves ground blinds. I do too, Lori. Thing about ground blinds is placement is everything. Placement, and if you're deer hunting, concealment, or put them out there early enough, the deer just get used to them. Turkeys don't care. Turkeys absolutely do not care. You can put up a ground blind in the middle of a plowed field and call in a turkey an hour later. They don't care. Bears don't care as much either. The biggest bear I ever killed in White River, we set up a ground blind on a rock on a barren hillside about 2:00 in the afternoon, and I shot the bear about 6:00. Deer care. A big old doe walking up to a blind for the first time she sees it, she'll turn herself inside out, snort, and take off. And don't you hate those does that snort? Jason said he's ready to win the Pure Michigan hunt. The drawing is when? Pretty soon now? Somebody tell me when the drawing for the Pure Michigan hunt is. It's coming up real soon. The bears do like my blinds. I've never been bear hunting in White River or in Michigan without having a bear say hello to my blind. They know that's it. See, they know they're there. A little bigger 270 would be nice. You want me to pass that along to Bob? I'm not saying the bears don't know you're there. Obviously, they know you're there. They just don't care. Now, if they smell you, if you're sitting in that blind and the wind blows your smell to the bear, that they care about. But the sight of the blind doesn't bother them. Craig, I bet you will. Springtime turkey season. I'm already excited about turkey season. Already looking forward to it. You have deposits from 15. You have deposits from people that have 15 points. I know who 2 of those people are, Ross. That's how. You got to figure with 15 points, they're going to be able to get a tag, don't you? What else do we have here now? I'm looking at some comments. Looking at I really like it. I like mine. Try the Wraith 270, big enough for 3 people. They'd be 3 small people, Ross. They'd be small. I mean, I love that blind, but I'm not seeing 3 people. You could do it. I can't do it because I need to draw that recurve. If I was shooting a crossbow, I probably could. And I'll tell you what, when I heard Ted describing the new Darton crossbows, it did make me think that maybe shooting a crossbow again might be sometime in my future. John says he's enjoying the pike spearing you are sharing. Another one I need to try. I love those pike spearing videos, John. I'm fascinated by pike spearing. I haven't done it since I was a kid, but I've always thought that sitting on the ice, looking through that great big hole, it's like watching a big screen TV into an underwater world, and it's fascinating. It's fun, and there's no bigger part of our wintertime outdoor history here in Michigan than pike spearing. It goes back generations. People are using the spears that their granddads speared with. How cool is that? Ross says a crossbow or a gun, 3 people easy. I'll take your word for it, Ross, but you're skinnier than I am. You don't take up as much volume as I do. Oh, congrats again to Ed Clee for winning this week's Speedy Blaze giveaway. I told you I recorded an offshore tackle podcast today at Killer Food Plots. Listen, do you guys know the name Steve Noble? Best TV show you ever watched, the Fish Channel. You know the name Steve Noble from Maximum Outdoors TV? He's a Michigan guy who recently moved to, a few years ago, moved to Iowa. I really enjoyed my conversation with this guy today and Nick Percy of Killer Food Plots. He was talking about trophy whitetail hunting, and he's not one of those people who shames others, but he's into food plots. I mean, he likes deer hunting so much he moved to Iowa so he could deer hunt. But really enjoyed my conversation with him. That podcast will be uploaded tomorrow sometime. Also, the podcast from Offshore Tackle will be uploaded tomorrow as well. Jason says the last 3 years, his 14-year-old son has gotten a deer survey. He's never had one. Wonder how they decide who gets them. I don't know, Jason. I would like to think it's strictly random, they just pull some names out of a computer, but I don't know the answer to that. And I will admit, I feel bad. I've gotten surveys before and forgot to fill them out, which is stupid because it defeats the purpose, right? Because realistically, if we here in Michigan want to have an impact on deer management, probably the single best thing we can do is fill out that deer survey. And if I remember right, the survey wasn't just what you saw. Nicole says, is Rex staying on at Dart? If not, it wasn't worth it. Interesting comment, Nicole. I know what you're saying, and I will answer your question, but that's an interesting comment because how can you say it's not worth it? Yes, Rex Darlington is the man. He's come up with the patents. He came up with the patents that all these other bow companies stole and then bought from him. Matthews is filled with old Darton, well, not old, but with Darton patents. So I get what you're saying. But even if Rex wasn't staying at Darton, and he is, how can you say it wasn't worth it? Because that company didn't have many more years that it was going to be around. And if a guy who says he's interested in the company and wants to do the best for it and not move it out of Michigan, bought it to keep the Darton name alive, plus there are many years of Darton future designs in the works that are out there. I understand what you're saying, Nicole. And yes, he is staying there, and I have nothing but respect for Rex, but I can't agree with the statement that if Rex wasn't going to be there, it's not worth it. Harry says he's got a survey every year his entire life, and it was for bear season. Well, one survey in your entire life. It was for bear season. Yeah, there is a video on my YouTube channel. I think it's called The Man Behind Darton Archery, and it's a conversation with Rex Darlington. In fact, Rex signed my Darton SL50. Just hope they keep their prices affordable like the Toxin. Ted talked about prices today, and he said they were going to keep them down. I think they're going to strive to keep them down, Ross. Absolutely. I just think it's a good move. If we can keep a Michigan-based company, and the Darton name is going to stick around. You know, if he bought it and called it Black Eagle Bows or Conquest Bows and moved it, well, then it's a whole different ballgame. But if he's going to keep the name, the people working there, hire additional people to work at Darton, and keep it in Hale, where's the downside? I don't see it. Marty says he just mailed his yesterday. He gets one every year. I've got one. What have I got? I had a survey right here that I'm just going to do online. Because I'd be honest with you, I would prefer to do anything online rather than fill out something and put it in the mail. If I have the option of doing something online, I will do it online all the time. Like our giving at church or whatever now, or paying bills. It's done online. Easy way to go. All right, my friends, anything else you want to talk about before we wrap it up tonight? You have the floor for the next couple of minutes. You tell me what you want to talk about as I check my list here. I think I did not. Oh, heated vests. On the radio show last week, who nobody heard because the wrong one was on the satellite, I was talking with, but you can hear it. You can hear it as a podcast, right? You have 14 bear points. Put you down for 2022. Absolutely, Craig. I was talking with Whitetail Whisperer John Eberhardt on the radio show last week, and he was telling me about how cool these battery-operated heated vests are. Now, I had seen those things and always thought they were a gimmick. But when John Eberhardt tells you they're the real deal, I thought I'd check one out. I did. I bought it. It is so cool. Actually, it's so warm. I'm surprised I'm not wearing it right now. I absolutely love these things. So that heated vest, you don't have to wear as many clothes over the top of it. I like it. It would be great, Brad, for ice fishing. Patrick mailed his yesterday. And Ross says, Craig, you have a spot for 2022. Ross, are you serious about Ohio? I've heard this. Milwaukee makes a great heated vest and coat. I think we talked about this last week, didn't we? Yeah, because I think I remember you talking about. I'm not familiar with Milwaukee stuff at all. I want to be familiar with Carhartt, but I can't get in the door there. Hey, Harry, that news you were telling me about that last week, I apologize for the confusion at first. It became obvious once I thought about it. But how heartbreaking, how sad is that? And Harry and I go way back. I mean, Harry and I go back. We grew up kids a couple miles apart. So I'm talking 55 years ago. And we went to high school together, and a friend of ours died last week from COVID. A classmate of ours that we graduated with died from COVID. Terrible. Ross says, yes, he's in. Call me with the details. October 11th through the 16th with Bill Piles of Ohio Bow Hunting Outfitters. The cost is $2,100. Bill wants 50% down. He's taking deposits now. I will add you to the list. All right, my friends, let's wrap it up. Hey, don't forget my website, MikeAveryOutdoors.com, MikeAveryOutdoors.com. You can always email me. My address is Mike@MikeAveryOutdoors.com. Yes, Lori, do that. Lori's gone on an elk hunt in Colorado in November. I like mine. I like mine a lot. Mike@MikeAveryOutdoors.com. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you want to talk about. Let me know what you agree with. Let me know what you disagree with. Cameron I don't know how to say it. Is it Cameron or Cameron? But you make a wonderful point. When all else is chaos, get outdoors and enjoy Michigan's great outdoors. I could not have said that better, my friend, and that is an absolutely great way to end this edition of Wednesday Night Live. When the rest of the world's going crazy, we got the outdoors. We got hunting and fishing and shooting and trapping and snow and cold and daylight and sunshine and dark and critters and fish. Wonderful way to end this week's Wednesday Night Live. Thanks for joining me, my friends.